One position is that the act be condemned, totally condemned. Is against humanity. Nobody has the right to take the life of another man. More to that, I've often said in many of my interviews that if you want to do a business, you must be ready to make provision that will make sure that your business does not affect the business of others. Take for instance, somebody wants to go into tailoring. He or she must know that you must be able to rent a shop or use the comfort of your room to do your tailoring business. If you want to run a taxi business, you must obey the laws on our roads in order for you to do your business. Also, if you want to run a livestock business, you must understand that you must purchase land to make sure that your livestock are well catered for, well protected, and well gated to the extent that it will not affect the next person beside you, perhaps that is growing crops like maize, pepper, and what have you. We must be able to live within the comfort of our space and manage what we have.
All right. So, in other words, you do not believe that herdsmen crossing borders into other states to cause promotion is acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
Okay, fine. So, but so far, we have seen that the aggression with which the presidency tackled IPOB members when they were agitating in other parts of the country where there was militancy is different from what we are witnessing now with respect to the herdsmen.
Well, I will relate it and I will unrelate it. I will relate it in the sense that IBOs were not killing people, so to speak, in the rate in which the herdsmen have been killing people due to clashes between them and the farmers. The number of people who would have died in IBO, I don't think they are up to I don't think they are up to 500, if I'm not too wrong. You understand? Now, the IBO issue threatens the sovereignty of the nation. That is a different issue. It threatens your sovereignty. It threatens the sovereignty of myself. If they intend to pull off Nigeria, they can go through a referendum. And I've always supported that. Even in the Nigerian constitution, as contradictory as it is, there's a provision there that make provision for secession, but it must be discussed and it must go through a referendum. Now, if people are not going to go through that, then the federal government have the onus to keep the nation as one. If that is what you turn to the mayor in which it is being taken, because if we don't do that, it can throw the nation into war, and it will be more dastardly and disastrous than what we are witnessing within the herdsmen. Now, coming to the herdsmen issue, if you remember quite well, the president gave a directive to all security operatives to make sure that the issue is tackled. Now, if he had been lenient enough not to have fired the IG, fired the chief of army staff, fired the director of DSS, then perhaps the president has given them more time. Because it is not the president that will go and arrest them under a democratic system of government. If we have said, and Buhari have said in the Chatham House, that he's not coming to rule as General Buhari, but he's coming to rule as President Buhari, it means that he must follow the dictums of democracy and allowing people to operate their office to the extent that it is proven beyond reasonable doubt that that person is not competent. You understand? And we have even seen where he fired some of these people. He fired some of them, like the NSO that was fired recently over the Ikoyi money saga and what have you, and several other people have been fired. You understand? And be sacked. So let's give him a chance, let him operate, and that is why some of us will say at times democracy might not give you the full-fledged power. And that is why he went to the National Assembly, if you remember, that he needed special powers in order to deal with some certain issues like corruption and what have you.
All right, so but you mentioned that sovereignty is threatened. That's exactly
the sovereignty of the nation.
Sovereignty of the country.
Yes.
That's what necessitated for him deploying.
Because IPOB was threatening to secede without following the dictums of their democratic ethos.
Yes, if protecting the sovereignty of the nation is
yes.
duties, protecting lives of citizens is also. So if threatening the sovereignty of Nigeria amounted to act of terrorism, what about killing people?
It amounts to same.
So
it amounts to same, but the gravity or the nomenclature of the operation is different. The essence of the operation is different. The herdsman is not saying that he wants to take a part of Nigeria. He is not saying that. And with the knowledge they have, I'm not protecting them. With the knowledge they have, you understand, it's so primitive, and I hold my word so strongly. It's so primitive that what they think is that the way they have been carrying out the agricultural business for centuries, if not hundreds of years, is the same way they are going to do it in present day contemporary Nigeria. It is no. What is required in contemporary days of civilization is that you have ranches and you keep your livestock in ranches, and anybody that goes out of that, the law should go after them.
Some are already of the opinion that incompetence or incapability of the president or the state to protect lives while they continue to operate and attack people is enough to give rise to the call for impeachment or sack of the president. I
will not say it's an incapacity of the president. If I am president today, Shegun, I will give directive. I was chairman of a local government. I'll give you a scenario that led to what we are facing now, where people are being masqueraded or trying to implicate innocent people because of the failure of a police officer that was the helm of affairs in a mode of a local government. I was chairman. There's a law in Festac Town that nobody should sell on the walkway. Nobody should operate on the walkway. Nobody should trade illegally. Nobody should burst pipeline. Nobody should take laws into their hands. And I created through the bylaw a task force, a mode of a task force. Through a bylaw, it was created, and they were carrying out the operations. Now, the police were feeding from it, from this illegality. They were busting pipeline and what have you, and there was confrontation. And I was giving directive. At a point, my directive was not carried out full-fledged. I had to come to the stead to carry out my directive. And what was I labeled at? A draconian person. And I said I was protecting the law. And what happened thereafter? If you remember the community policing youth vanguard that was created by Daniel Okoro, now DCP, they were using it to create mayhem in the community. And I warned, it's on social media, which I sent to you people, and I warned that this creation will lead to an hydra-headed monster in future. And what happened? The deputy killed the head. When they were carrying guns around, the police were with them. When they were misbehaving, busting pipeline, the police were with them. And today, go and look at the pipeline. It's guarded by army with RPG and armor tanks. But if they are listening to me then, to the extent that I wrote to the Lagos House of Assembly that came to investigate the matter, and the leader of that investigation is now the chairman of the Lagos State Security Tax Fund. He's the chairman now. He led the investigation. And they went back to the house, and the house saw that what I said was true. What did they do? They banned the group, and they sent a document to the executive. What the executive do? They did nothing. Even Mr. Ekpaye, that is working with the vice president now, wrote me a letter 2 weeks to my departure from office that they were still investigating a matter that I have wrote them over 3 years, assuming I was killed. Now bring it down to the scenario of the president. He can only direct. If headmen are killing people in the Borno state, they are killing people in Yobe, they are killing people in Edo state, they are killing people in Ekiti state, will Buhari be in all of these places at the same time? It shows that we have a failure in our security system. He will give directive, do this. He gives directive, do this. He gives directive, do this. And the failure of those security operatives to carry it out. Yes, we will hold him responsible as the chief security officer of the country. But all I will only beg the president to do or charge him to do is be more decisive. If you give directive and they fail to carry the directive, sack them. Not only sack them, persecute them, imprison them. Then the others will learn from that and they will carry out your directive.
As it stands right now, you started by using an analogy.
Yes, from Amuwo.
Business.
Yes.
You have to secure the land.
Definitely you have to.
So what's your opinion about states giving grazing land in the rest of the...
If states have decided, you know, there is a saying in the civil society that when birds learn how to fly without wings, hunters will learn how to shoot without missing. So if we are having a situation that is unconventional and they have tried all mayors to make people see reason why they need to purchase land, and they are coming with excuses that they don't have funds to purchase the land, what do you do as a sitting government in which your first line of action is to provide security for lives and property? If state government have decided free willy to provide land for them to graze, I beg those state government to also protect those lands, fence those lands, and teach them how to grow those grasses that are needed. Because remember, these nomads did not go to any school to understand what you are saying. It will take a lot of effort to make them understand. They are not like you and I that we polemize. After polemics, we now decide to do what we agreed upon. If you like, talk to them from here to Jericho, they will not understand. And countries that have made them understand, let's just go and learn from them. How did they make them understand? Because I know in Burkina Faso, in Chad, before they migrate into there, at the point of migration, point of entry, there are norms that have been telling them, not in 10 years, not in 20, not in 30 years, that have become a culture to them, and they are obeying it. So if the Nigerian Immigration Service have not been telling them, and they now want to tell them now, it's going to take you a long time to reach that avenue. But the point is, let them use helicopters, zero all of them, zero them down to the land that have been provided. Now let those governors also take another step of faith to fence those land, make sure that they are well fenced and they are well monitored, and the security operatives there too are well remunerated, because if you don't do it, they will become castle rustlers too. Mind you, those security people you put there will become castle rustlers, as long as they don't steal their cattle and they will teach them how to grow these grasses. Everybody will be at where we have kept them.
Lastly, one state governor, precisely Ekiti State.
I know.
Say that, well, his own method is to begin to empower hunters.
He has been empowering them, and nobody dare go there.
So,
which is wrong though. In terms of law and order, it is very wrong. But in terms of dexterity, and to make sure that the gap is protected. I mean, people have like Megad in their house now. They go to the police to get license for what do you call it? What do you call their gun that they license now? No, not den gun, double barrel, not pump action, double barrel. We have private people that go now, communities. They go to this office of the police. They get licenses for the barrel and they secure themselves. So if governors too can go to police, secure licenses and what have you by law, there's nothing wrong in that. But we cannot resort to that. If we resort to that, it is failure of a state. It shows that the state have failed.
But as the federal government itself not failed.
They have not failed. It's an age-long problem. They have not failed. For them not to fail, that is why I said that the president should move up beyond magnanimity. Move up beyond magnanimity. If any security operative headman fail, show him the way out. Not just show him the way out, show him the way to sell to the jail. By the time we use 1 or 2 or 3 of them as an example, a test case, every one of them will sit up, because your failure will lead to the death of thousands. So for you to be put there at the head, it means that you are a surgeon, a brain surgeon that cannot afford to make a mistake. Any mistake you make, the patient will die.
Thank you.